Okay, hello there everyone. This is Quick Lit by John, and today we are going to be looking at mood, tone, and theme in literature. So, without further delay, let's get started. We're going to start off by looking at the mood. So, mood. Well, mood reflects the overall feelings or emotions that the reader feels when he or she reads the text. I'll say that again. Mood reflects the feelings of the reader when he or she reads the text. It has often been said that the power of the pen can move mountains, and in this case, authors move their readers' moods through their choice of words and level of detail. In other words, the mood is the feeling that the author, the writer of the text, tries to create in us, the reader. He's trying to make us feel happy, or sad, or angry, or upset, or jealous, or depressed. Whatever we feel while we are reading a piece of text, that would be termed as the mood of the text. Let's look at an example. During the holidays, my mother's house glittered with decorations and hummed with preparations. We ate cookies and drank cider while we helped her wrap bright packages and trim the tree. We felt warm and excited, listening to Christmas carols and even singing along sometimes. We would tease each other about our terrible voices and then sing even louder. So, what would the mood be of this text? Well, we have to look at some details. First of all, it takes place during Christmas. There is a lot of detail involving bright, shining, happy lights, good sensations, eating cookies, drinking cider, wrapping warm, bright packages. We're feeling excited, and so the mood will obviously reflect something like this. You could say that the mood is content and happy. And how do we know this? Well, the author used words like warm, excited, and glittered. Let's look at another example. After New Year's, the time came to put all the decorations away and settle in for the long, cold winter. The house seemed to sigh as we boxed up its finery. The tree was dry and brittle, and now waited forlornly by the side of the road to be picked up. Now, obviously, there is a very different feeling created in us, the readers, when we read this text, and in this case, the mood would be dreary or depressed. And how do we know? Well, the writer again has used words such as cold, sigh, brittle, and forlornly, all words which are associated with a drab, dreary, depressed mood. Right, identifying the mood of a piece of writing generally depends on the number of descriptive words that are included in the text. It also depends on how you answer the question, how did this paragraph or this passage or this story make the character in the story and you, the reader, feel? Mood depends a lot on word choices. And it's often difficult to find the right word. So what I have done here is I've included some words which can be used to describe the mood of a piece of writing. The mood could be cheerful, relieved, gloomy, bleak, uncertain, bittersweet, relaxed, lazy, hopeless, or tense. It could be furious or disappointed, dreamy or foggy, content, satisfied, angry, motivated, inspired, confident, and eerie. Now, obviously, there are many, many, many more words that you can use to describe the mood of a text. But what I have done here is I have just included some basic examples for you to start you off. Let's look at another example. Donovan and Larry were early for baseball practice. They decided to run up and down the bleachers to exercise before the rest of the team arrived. Larry was first at the top. He whispered to Donovan, "Look over there. He pointed to a man sleeping on the highest narrow bench of the bleachers. His pants and shirt were faded, worn, and too large for his thin frame. One big toe stuck out of a huge hole in his sock. His scraped-up shoes sat a few feet away. Donovan whispered, "We should help him out. Let's hide something good in his shoes. Then, when he wakes up, he will have a nice surprise." So what do you believe the mood of this passage will be? Try and look at the content. What kind of colors, what kind of feelings are involved? How do you feel when you read this passage? Next, let's move to tone. Now, the tone is a reflection of a writer's or speaker's attitude towards a subject of a poem, story, or other literary work. Now, that's the definition, but obviously it doesn't really mean very much when just read out as a definition. A simple way to understand tone is how is the writer feeling when he is writing this. Or another way of looking at it is as follows. Let's say that you're in a classroom and the headmaster walks in to point out that somebody has broken the window in the classroom. Now, everyone in the class knows who broke it, but no one has as yet owned up for it. The headmaster comes in to shout at all the students. The feeling that the students feel when the headmaster walks in would be the mood. The headmaster's voice and his tone, how he sounds, would be the tone of a piece of passage. It's how the writer himself feels about the text that he has written, and it could be used to convey respect, anger, lightheartedness, or sarcasm. Tone is a lot easier to understand when you view a piece of writing as a conversation that takes place between you, the reader, and the writer. How the writer feels implies the tone. How you, the reader, feel implies the mood. Let's look at an example. You can almost hear this being said in your head. If you had paid attention to the instructions, you would have completed the assignment a long time ago. In other words, the tone in this text is accusing. It is accusing the listener of not paying attention. See if you can identify the tone in the following texts. I cannot believe that all the tickets for the World Cup are sold out. And now my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. If you persist in neglecting your homework, I'll refer you to the principal. So you can see that there is a different tone of voice in each of these three different sentences. Finally, the theme. Now, we're not going to look in detail at the theme this time round because there will be another video which will look at the theme in detail. But in summary, the theme is the basic message, concern, or purpose of a piece of writing. It's usually some form of generalization, or it's making a general statement about people or life. And it can be stated directly by the writer, although usually it's more often presented indirectly. And when it is stated indirectly, it is your responsibility as the reader to work out what this theme is. Let's have a look at the example text. In his sophomore year of high school, Michael Jordan tried out for the varsity basketball team at Laney High School in Wilmington, North Carolina. But at 5 feet and 11 inches tall, the coach believed that Jordan was too short to play at that level, so Jordan was cut from the team. Jordan didn't let this obstacle defeat him. In fact, it pushed him to work even harder. He trained vigorously and grew another 4 inches the following summer. When he finally made the varsity squad, Jordan averaged 25 points a game and went on to become one of the greatest basketball players in history. So, what do you believe is the theme of this story? What message is the writer trying to give us? What lesson is he trying to teach? And secondly, look at what happens in the text to make you believe that this is the theme. For a theme without a reason is pointless. Thank you very much for watching this presentation on theme, mood, and tone. As I said previously, we will be looking at the theme in detail in another presentation. Have a great afternoon.